ventilate our economy from corona coma, we have to work collectively. The COVID-19 has impacted economy of around the world like no other event than the Great Depression that started in US in 1929 and 30s and spread to the whole world like bonfire. And if we remember recently in 2008-9, the global financial crisis that started with the fall of prices related to stock market, that event was just one big shock, but now we have got 50 big shock. There is no reason to despair. With the right resolve and priorities and drawing on India's many sources of strength, it can beat this virus back and even set the stage for much more hopeful tomorrow. While the Modi government has made a case for attracting more investment, economists like Nobel laureate Abhijit Banerjee said that the government should concentrate on providing cash transfer to the bottom 60% of the population to revive the economy. And it is true that if we want to strengthen our economy, we should start at the ground root level. We have to think about the migrant laborers, urban laborers, as well as farmers and rural people below poverty level. Under Migrant Labor Protection Act, the responsibility to give relief to migrant laborers goes to the contractor and employers. Government role is equally important. Even at the cost of economic loss, government should help them. During Great Depression, America's infrastructure was aimed to develop in order to gear up the economy. And to improve the condition of the laborer is to send the amount to 40 million Janardhan accounts, some minimum lump sum amount. To improve further the condition of farmer, we have to ensure they get loan and the logistics section should be improved. Temporary ration cards can be provided to them. Under Mahatma Gandhi Employment Guarantee Act 2005, in short MNREGA, and Indian labor law, money can be transferred to the laborers to give security and thereby bring social equality. A salary cut from employers is another short-term measure to deal with this situation. However, it can be returned to them when the situation gets normal. Moreover, India needs to ensure that the non-salaried lower middle class who are prevented from working for longer period of time can survive. The state and center have to come together to figure and quickly combination of public and NGO provision of food, healthcare, sometimes shelter, private participation, voluntary moratoria or debt payment, and a community enforced ban on eviction during the new initial months and direct benefit transfer DBT that will allow needy households to see through the next few months. The damage caused by COVID-19 is not confined to only select pocket of business, but it is a widespread malady. While the magnitude of the impact may vary from sector to sector, there are some sectors that have suffered the most and continue to suffer. The worst affected sectors are MSMEs, hospitality and tourism, aviation, automobile and real estate. Let us discuss the sectors one by one. First, MSME, the micro, small and medium enterprise, which is the backbone of Indian economy because it constitutes 30% of GDP of India. The MSME Secretary Arun Kumar Panda said talks were on with Niti Aayog to rank states on the basis of 4 E's, including employment generation, enterprise creation, export and ease of doing business. He said efforts were also on to set up an MSME gateway, a unique digital platform where Indian MSME will do business with SMEs of the world. So that is a very good thing for our economy. So there are certain other things we can do to improve this sector. For example, the ways PPF subsidies and interest rate subventions should be targeted to MSME. The government is planning to release 20,000 crore relief package divided into 2 funds for helping MSMEs. So next is our hospitality and tourism sector, which is also worse affected during this COVID-19. The Ministry of Tourism have prepared some guidelines for hotels and tours operators, which will definitely help in this regard. According to the proposal guidelines, the government could make downloading of Arogya Setu apps mandatory for tourists in booking hotel rooms. Apart from this, employees working in the hotels will have to undergo thermal screening daily. According to the proposed guidelines, the ministry officials quoted above said tourists staying in hotels will have to provide detailed information about their previous and future visits. The health information will also have to be filled in a self-proclaimed form. The guidelines also includes strict adherence to social distancing. Tourists and hotel staff have to maintain a distance of more than 2 meters from one another. Hotel floors need to be marked out so that staff and tourists stand at a distance from each other. It also emphasized the need of wearing masks and cleanliness, sanitization of the premises. The ministry encourages short distances tour to revive the tourism sector. The tourism department will also like to propagate the vocal for local mantra, said Brar. He said an online program, Dekho Apna Desh, is being run by the ministry to make people aware about local tourist attraction. Now coming to the third sector, that is aviation sector, which is also worse affected during the pandemic. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman announced the opening up of airspace availability and said that 6 more airports will be privatized. Restrictions on utilization of Indian airspace will be now erased. This will save rupees 1,000 crore in flying cost, she said. Domestic aviation should be promoted in order to cope up with the loss. The centre's rupees 20 lakh crore economic relief package is very welcome as it contributes 72 billion of GDP to India. Now the fourth sector which is affected is the automobile industry. The entire industry reporting zero sales during the initial 2 months has been a matter of great seriousness, as it accounts 7% of country's GDP, 49% of manufacturing GDP, 15% of GST, and employs over 3.7 crore people directly or indirectly in this sector. The sector that is worstly affected is the real estate business. Site visits have always been an essential element in real estate, and it is extremely difficult to imagine that buyers would book without visiting the project site. Developers says various measures such as online booking, online payment, erased out down payment schemes, and lowest ever home loan interest rates in the last decade helped the sector to sail through the difficult time. Realtors came out with offers and schemes from 6 months EMI free to the donation of booking amount to PM Relief Fund. There is an upsurge amongst the buyers to own a home in the group housing project, as people were able to see the positive of the group housing during the lockdown. The Indian government intends to undertake reform across 8 sectors as part of Prime Minister's Atmanirbhar Bharat scheme, a post-pandemic economic plan that's aimed at helping the economy recover from the impact of COVID-19. The government will invest 50,000 crore in coal-related infrastructure. The Parliament passed the Mineral Laws Bill in March 2020. Indigenization of imported spares will also be promoted. The mega rupees 20 lakh crores stimulus package announced on Tuesday by PM Modi includes previously announced measures to save the lockdown battered economy. The package, Modi said, will focus on land, labor, liquidity and laws. It will cater to various sections including cottage industry, MSMEs, laborers, middle class and industries. Under Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan and Yojana, 67.65 lakh MT of food grains have lifted by 36 states and union territories. The RBI can announce an OMO calendar and, if necessary, finance special COVID-19 government bonds. This would take pressure off the bond markets. Policies such as transfer, credit guarantee, funds, interest rates, subversion, liquidity, refinance facilities, loan extension and forbearance, tax relief, deferrals and regulatory erasing will definitely help India to revive the economy. There is a big opportunity for Indian market, as there is a clear global shift away from China. Business are seeking to relocate from China. The question is whether the business will go to the Southeast Asian countries like Vietnam or possibly even Bangladesh, or will it come back to India? We have to do something to make sure that new business will come to India. In order to make ourselves an alternative manufacturing hub, we need to have land reform, labor reform. No doubt some sectors are at heavy loss and will take time to revive. Even it may take time 1 or 2 years, but there is more hope for some other sectors too. So if we plan better, we can come out with even more hopeful tomorrow. We conclude, only in darkness we can see the stars, and even our worst day have 24 hours. Thank you.